introduction.
Absolutely. Hey, so first of all, I have just a quick question. Is the live webinar started or we are starting at, we're going
Yeah, it's actually live. It's being broadcasting onto YouTube and LinkedIn.
Oh, okay, great, perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll start with my introduction. I am Akash. I'm a blockchain entrepreneur. I have been a blockchain entrepreneur all my career, I will say. I started with a crypto club inside IIT Bombay, and that bring me to crypto world back in 2014. So at that time, Ethereum was just during the development phase. So, for us developers, it was like we got a honeypot to play around with, right? Because we have already been so bored of playing with Bitcoin's code, so Bitcoin code has been forked in 100 different ways by different cryptocurrencies, Litecoin, Dogecoins, meme coins, hundreds of those cryptocurrencies came in. And really nothing has much, there was much before. And then the Ethereum's smart contract came in, which, kind of did a paradigm shift on how we used to think about blockchain and the interactions. Definitely one step closer to Satoshi's vision. So that inspired me to stay in crypto, learn more about crypto. And during my final year, I started a blockchain infrastructure company, which provided supply chain and data security based solution back then. The company did well. We were the pioneer in India to start with a blockchain companies, and there were a lot of interest in the blockchain infrastructure, at least around private blockchain infrastructure. Back then, we do not see now that there is much interest around private blockchain, because people have realized for good that the power of blockchain lie on the public side of it. You can this as in the sideload blockchain network. So, however, there were a number of use cases we were building, working with governments and large companies to help them run blockchain networks and operate blockchain network. I continued there after graduating from IIT Bombay and continued there full time. We were having profitable revenue, and finally in 2019, the company got acquired by Swiss-based TTN network, and I got my first acquisition. After that, I traveled the world around for 6-8 months, learned more about crypto, that how crypto is being used in eastern part of the world, especially Korea and Japan, which I would say is the most advanced countries back then and still today in the terms of cryptocurrency. So travel there for some time. Southeast Asia, again, travel for a lot of time to know that how the emerging market is working out. And after that, I started a company called Auth-Link, in which I am building, which is an NFT protocol for real world assets. So there is a lot of real world assets, from expensive cars to arts, digital wines, collectibles, and a lot of these elements, which keeps the power of once they are tokenized, then they can open up the entire world of DeFi, the entire world of metaverse to be used upon that. So so that's what we are currently working upon. And then recently this year, I started another DeFi company, which is an infrastructure for a structured DeFi product. And I'm mainly focused around DeFi. And the topic of the session very well resonated with me, because as a CEO of the company, one of the most important things, every day you wake up and, you start with your Twitter, start the Twitter with your day. And you realize you are reading some Twitter thread about some hacks that has happened. Now, all of these guys are very smart guys who are writing this code, no doubt about that. And, and then this comes up, and then, you also have to then think about that, okay, let's look at my architecture, right? That there is everything bulletproof there. So it's kind of a constant thing that keeps on going. So that's about me. That's my journey.
Okay, awesome. Like both of you are pretty much very experienced than me. So great. So I had an awesome introductory session, and thank you for both of you introducing yourself. So now let's start with this session. So firstly, I would like to request you both to give a quick explanation regarding what are cross-chain and multi-chain bridges to the viewers.
Yeah, actually, this is the very interesting thing. If you see in the practical world, as like centralized finances, there are a lot of things that still is under development. As like the the government, I mean, banks are introducing a new security system to make it more and more efficient and secure the system. Like you can understand this DeFi model, interoperability connection within the two blockchains, how these can be the correlate with two things like you can take an example like SBI card can be used only in SBI ATM. No, we need
Yeah.
still the interoperability, and even HDFC card can be the store used in the SBI block ATM. So like that, we need to have the use the multiple blockchains to increase the speed as well as the volume, as well as the operation efficiency. For that, the interoperability is needed for the blockchains. Now there are some bridges that is created for this particular operation, that they connect the two different blockchains or two multifunctioning blockchains within a particular standard, and that's why they can give the particular transaction in such a way that it's enhanced the decentralized banking, so that this
Yeah.
decentralized banking is also improve the technology aspects as well as the mind of the users, either however they are using in the blockchain of the Bitcoin, and now they are using Ethereum blockchain. Like they create the such as asset on the different blockchain to use that particular asset on the different network. Like you can see the WBTC is created on the Ethereum network. Now that is a wrapped asset and is deposited on the particular blockchain network as a collateral when you are
Yeah.
transacting across the blockchain. That's why it works that sense. And the crucial breezes will be play a very important role to increase this DeFi protocols. As like Akash said, this sector is belongs from the Akash, so he will be pretty happy that these kind of the actions we can also see in this 23 and 24, because this is a consolidation time, because market is down now. The sector will be grow like rapidly,
Yeah.
so we can see these breezes will be play very important role. But there are some things still we have to think from the different parameters, as like you mentioned that as we know that different kind of the hacks is happen. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. So now I would like to also ask that what is the basic ideation or notion behind these cross-chain bridges? Akash sir.
Sure, I'll take this. So I think kind of Vikram very well explained in and touched in the point, and I think very well
Yeah,
analyzed
absolutely.
with the debit cards, that how you are not able to use one card of one bank from another bank, and that's really an interoperability issue, right? Which was the problem, I think, by 2000, when RBI stepped up and kind of created an interoperability system that now each of those cards can run on each ATM machines. Now, the thing about cross chain is that definitely it's an again an interesting topic, because the first company, the first infrastructure of ourself itself, the ultimate vision we were building upon was to build a multi-chain tier network. At that time, we didn't have the concept of cross chain way back in 2017, but we were working on the concepts of multi-tier network, something like Cosmos is currently operating today. And the thing to appreciate is that the blockchain is a very fastly evolving technology. It's a very nascent technology, and it's a very fastly evolving technology. When Bitcoin came, Bitcoin is called to be the first generation of the blockchain, right? That it has one job. It used to do that very well. It is still does that very well, right? No hacks, no exploits, nothing at all, right? So if you see, our still the rock star blockchain is still the Bitcoin. But definitely, it was built for that purpose. It was a closed system. It was such a closed system that you even if you want to increase the block memory or you want to do certain other things, it will require use community approval. It will lead to chain forks, which we have seen with Bitcoin, that so far 3-4 forkings from Bitcoin has happened already. Now, so Bitcoin was the first version of it. Then the second generation of the blockchain came with Ethereum, which was purely a paradigm shift. It was nothing like Bitcoin. It took the game at the next step. Now, when we are making such a big leap, at that time, it is either you can limit your innovation to maintain the interoperability, or you can let your imagination run wild and build something amazing like Ethereum, which they did. Now, which was very much required. But then definitely, then the question and there still comes that Bitcoin also has a very good use cases. Ethereum also has very good use cases. But these two blockchain are so heterogeneous technically that it is very difficult to make, that it is almost next to impossible. That how do we transfer from one asset or use one asset in one blockchain into another blockchain? Now, that's where the notion of cross-chain bridges start popping up. And while definitely the cross-chain and the cross-chain bridges start popping up, which works in around the tech that you kind of lock in a token at one place, you releases that token from another smart contract on the same chain, creating a bit of decentralization. Creating kind of centralization among smart contracts for very high value assets, and leads to ultimately failure. But definitely, while we work for a superior solution, the cross-chain bridges are what currently helping users to easily interoperate and make this entire liquidity count. Because all of these blockchains are now specializing, right? Ethereum is being specialized into something. It's now the gold standard of DeFi. But we cannot build a lot of DeFi application still after the shift from proof of work to proof of stake. So given all these cases, the cross-chain bridges are still important, and we are still going to see that it's going to develop a lot before finally solutions gonna implement in the place which will be as bulletproof as the blockchain itself. So ultimately,
absolutely true, makes sense. So now I would like to request you to go deep into the benefits, explaining the benefits of these cross-chain bridges.
Sure.
Sorry, continue.
Okay, I will take this. I'll take it. Sure.
I will come later.
So you asked about the benefits. Can you repeat the question?
Benefits of cross-chain bridges.
Sorry, benefits of
benefits.
So essentially, definitely, I think the benefits of cross-chain is that I think it will be the extension of what I was speaking earlier as well. That different blockchains, right? This first generation of blockchain, second generation of blockchain, and now the newer generation of blockchain is coming with Visa level of performance and right, very tight security, better with interoperability. I think another thing that's happening is that specialized blockchains are coming, where where Solana is establishing itself more in the NFT ecosystem, right, empowering more of the NFT ecosystem and startup. Binance and BSC focusing a bit harder on the DeFi side. Blockchains such as Terra, which will come more incoming, which will more be one use case is specific oriented, such as the example of Terra was regarding the entire ecosystem was built around stable coins, and that was important. Such an ecosystem which Terra was trying to build, regardless of however it rolled out, it was an important innovation. It's an important innovation, and innovation needed to be done, and that innovation needed a separate blockchain. So to keep the innovation going on, these blockchain cannot be limited in the terms of their potential. So what's happening currently that in silos, there are many blockchain that specialize in many things. There can be blockchain for the real world assets, for the DeFis, for NFTs, for different kinds of things, for stable coins. Now, each of them are doing their job very well. But when you really combine them, that's when the real power of DeFi comes in. The composability, the permissionless nature. And this becomes very important, that the stable coin you have in one ecosystem needs to be used in another ecosystem where you can take loan against, you can provide liquidity, you can make more money, and things like this. And today, the only way and any way to do that is with the cross-chain bridges. So the benefits this comes in is the cross-chain is the currently, I would say, more or less the backbone of the DeFi or this blockchain ecosystem, which is currently holding all these pieces together so that all can grow. Because individually in silo, no one will be able to grow. To grow, we will have to combine them. And I think that's the biggest advantage, benefit, and reason of cross-chain bridge that exists today.
Yeah. Awesome. So Vikram, sir, would you like to like add something to it?
Yeah, I like to add something. So actually, in the simple words, we can see the, like from the financial aspect, as like government wants, what he wants, they have created a system. Either this is an organizational, any third party, or any other activities is happening in this country. They will be pretty happy if the money transactions are going so massive. Now, to adoption at the mass level and the interoperability increase the volume. That's why the financially the government will be satisfied. Now, in the same angle, we can see the decentralized world will be also grow when we have interoperability, and especially the expectation of the users on the system and the trust on the systems will be increased. And when the mass adaptability comes, you can understand everybody will start using the crypto. That day will be also come, and the different assets will be also play a vital role. Now you can see the such as cross-chain bridges works in a different way. Like one asset is transferring from one chain to another chain. Either it's a chain or chains. There are few other interoperabilities. Like you can see, WBTC is managed by BitGo on the different chain, and on the Ethereum, as well as if we want to use the Avalanche and Solana network. Actually, these are the so fast, and that's why the people are addicted with the fast technology, even the less transaction fees. That's why I would be prefer to have such as the breaches. In practically, if I could do something extra add in the DeFi in upcoming time also. But there are few things that still we have to think. Like if we are transacting, we can categorize some in such a way that one asset is transferred at a multiple different chains, as like BTC deposited at as a collateral at a particular point, and it's basically it works on the uh, lock and mint. That's why locking and minting have to be very safe first thing, and the asset have to be deposited and diverted in a different chains smoothly, and definitely that's works a smooth way. But the bridges have to be in a decentralized manner. However it is, we have to think like from the different perspective. If you think about the technology, definitely technology will be grow. Maybe after 1 year, 2 year, you can see a lot of developments also in this sector. Yeah, we can still
So like,
categorize. Yeah, we can still categorize in the different way. Like one asset is transferred from one blockchain to another blockchain. Multiple assets are transferred from the different blockchains, and multiple assets are transferred on a particular blockchain. So there are few names like Rain Bridge, Gravity, GiroSwap, and Ronin Wallet. Also, Binance have all their own bridge and the activities they are doing. Yeah.
okay. So like Akash sir told in the beginning that whenever nowadays we get up in the morning and open our Twitter, we get to see a lot of tweets regarding this protocol got hacked for such $1 million and all those stuff. So now I would like to ask you both is that what are the reasons behind these hacks? Like why do it is the most preferred targeted, like most preferred target among the hackers in blockchain and Web3 space?
Right. So definitely if we see from the terms of it is the answer lies very clearly in the data itself, right? And it can be very well seen that the largest amount of centralization between two smart contracts that happens are done in the bridges contracts. That creates although it is supposed it is work in a totally decentralized manner. That's how it is written. Because also we need to see that there are different kinds of bridges. Different kinds of bridges runs on very different logic. Like Vikram touched upon that WBTC is more of a centralized wrapped coin, which is where the custodian is the one which takes care of it. While the new age cross-chain bridges such as Wormholes or Ronin Bridge, all of them are works, or such as this BNB bridge, are works in much more decentralized smart contract operated. So it brings down the value of decentralization. However, the problem happens that the centralization happens at the two blockchain level, which is very vast in number, and definitely it ultimately becomes as a honeypot for hackers. The reason being so much amount of money that has been put in there. So that is definitely, that's the number one reason of the interest, that because there is the data that supports that money, there is a lot of interest among hackers to exploit these conditions. So that's number one. Number two we have is the technology maturity is what we must understand, right? I mean, I really do not see this space any different, or this news any different, even when DeFi didn't used to exist. I mean, go back to 2016, 2017, and every other day we would be hearing news about this crypto exchange got hacked. And that time DeFi wasn't even that was the time of centralized exchange when they flourished, right? And I remember that I used to still read all the same news which I read today, which would be going that left, right, here and there, every week, every month, some centralized exchange getting exploited, getting hacked due to the internal reasons, due to their team reasons, due to external reasons, security reasons. No one knew that what's happening. The bigger problem with centralized exchanges, that even no one known. It's been like what, 10 years since Mt. Gox hack. We still don't know the real reason why how Mt. Gox got hacked. Was it really got hacked, or founders rug pulled? We do not really even get to know. The only difference between them and now is that today whatever happens in a purely transparent manner. So we are able to analyze it better. We are able to learn from those mistakes better, and ultimately take this down to a better route. So it's the technology maturity, in my opinion, is one very important factor. That is it's a very new, latest technology. I will say even in DeFi blockchain, it's one of the latest technology, and it needs to be matured. Definitely, it should not come at the cost of people losing their life savings and money. But definitely, this is a space which requires those kinds of risk assessment for people to stay in this industry.
So, Vikram sir, would you like to add something to it? Anything from your side? What would be?
As Akash said, that this is still in early stage. I'm pretty agree with this, because still we need to see the further stable developments, and the time is totally depend on the innovations. Innovations are only depend on the time. So basically, time by time, the innovation will become. Now you can see the Polygon POS Breeze is also there, like how they are working and interacting with the different blockchains, and they are taking care of the all the things in their own way, like they have own functionality and like that. But the main thing that what they do in that, like how you can transfer one NFT from one blockchain to from another blockchain, like are you able to do or not? That's the also and functionality is also like they are implementing, like Binance is also working, and Wormhole is also a decentralized breach they claims, but
Yeah.
still have to check that they are they are fully decentralized or still they are under innovations. So the DeFi, these bridges version 2.0 will soon be there.
Yeah. Great. Awesome. So now, like, bridges form a connectivity between two blockchains, right? So are like bridges anything other alternative for bridges to connect to two blockchains, or like if bridges won't exist, then the blockchains won't be connected? Like, I basically wanted to ask this: is there any alternative to these bridges yet?
No, currently we do not. If you want to move one asset from Solana ecosystem to Binance ecosystem or Ethereum ecosystem, then the bridges are the only way you can transfer your assets, any kind of assets it is.
Okay. So like many of the people say that the future would be multi-chain but not cross-chain. So what are your thoughts on this? Like what would be the future according to you? Multi-chain bridges or cross-chain bridges? What could sustain better?
It will definitely. It is too early to say, right? I mean, so see the thing how we are in a very rapid innovation mode. Luckily, the DeFi or the crypto ecosystem has attracted probably, I mean, the smartest people, kind of works in the ecosystem. And if we see the speed of technology is just too fast to handle. And so what happens when the speed of innovation is too fast is that you make compromises. I do really feel that cross-chain bridges are a compromise today, which we have done in order to keep up with this rapid speed of innovation we wanted to continue. While definitely one thing will be that the technology in itself from the cross-chain will mature, but definitely we see and we know that if we see, let's go back to my same example of centralized exchanges. It's I noted two things there. It was not just technology which matured them. It was technology plus process. They brought in the best of those process from their learnings so that they do not face the similar situation again. Right. So I would say that again, in our case, the process is in the logic. Probably the way these bridges are working, the cross-chain bridges will stay, but essentially what we have seen that enough hacks has happened that probably we will be moving to better algorithms, better approach, more decentralized approach that will be difficult or almost impossible to crack in. So while we definitely see that among all these blockchain networks are there, which are heterogeneous, some kinds of bridges will surely be there. Some kind of cross-chain bridges will also be definitely there. However, the only question would be that whether the same algorithm matures enough or it is, or in my opinion, we feel that with time, we will build better processes, and with those better process orientations, we will be able to move to better, more secure logic, more secure way of doing the same thing which we currently want to do.
Okay.
And to add, definitely there are networks like Cosmos, which also tries to solve the problem that a lot of blockchain doesn't get created. I mean, whatever gets created remains in one ecosystem. But again, that's until one of them gets very famous. Once Cosmos becomes the size of Ethereum or something, right? Then it really will be worthwhile. That will be a step up on the technology. That at least in that ecosystem, you don't need bridges. In that ecosystem, the cross-chain transactions are being done as smoothly as the Bitcoin transaction itself. So that's another route which probably can take with time. So the only time can probably unfold this, in my opinion, from these 2-3 ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Vikram, so do you also have the same perspective, or you feel something different regarding the future of cross-chain or multi-chain bridges?
Well, my opinion is different. Like in upcoming time, I'm agree with the Akash point of view, but there is a few things still we have to check. Like these mass level of the hacks are continuously going on. Other they still have to think seriously, logical and mechanism error. They have to remove that one. How they are removing, that will be very interesting, and that will be decide the future of the decentralized bridges and like that. That will be very crucial. That's why still we cannot say that this is a dead point. Definitely, the bridges
Mhm.
have future, and these bridges will be play in important role to enhance the users security. Like you can see in the like two different exchanges are working in the different pattern. Other they are supporting few networks, blockchain network, and another exchanges is supporting something else. Like they can also get connected in such a way that they can operate in the decentralized manner as like a bridge. Different exchanges can be work on a single platform. As like you can see,
Mhm.
the BI can interact with the Singapore central bank, just like that. They also
Yeah.
have to integrate this kind of the facility. Just is a nothing. I don't think there is a nothing. There is anything new. You can just see what is happening in the centralized world. Just replicate
Yeah.
them and solve the problem. This is
Hmm.
the happening in this financial world. So
Mhm.
stability and the mechanical mechanism errors and still security is a main concern. They have to increase these things. Also the speed will be also definitely increases, as well as the blockchain and these bridges will be integrated in this. So
Mhm.
I think like there
Okay.
is a bright future in upcoming time, because this will be
Mhm.
lead to big empires in the blockchains. As like the Akash said in the beginning, the in the BTC blockchain was only pioneer that time. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So great. It was overall a great session explaining regarding this stuff. So, like the last question, would you please give some 2 to 3 points regarding the security, like how Web3 projects can protect themselves from the upcoming risks of getting hacked and all this stuff?
Now, definitely, one of the most important point goes in the architecture itself, right? So that's where this is definitely required that during the architecture level itself, you implement in the security consultants and security guys, right? That's definitely the number one thing.
Mhm.
Number two, for Web3 users, more than Web3 projects, definitely Web3 projects should understand that when you are dealing with financial assets and valuable assets, uh, a strong audit is very much required to have in place
Yeah.
before you are onboarding high level of value. And
Mhm.
more than Web3 projects, I would want Web3 users to be more aware of this thing, that whenever they use a project, they check with the audit reports and they see that whether how well the audits of these elements